Luchika! What is it, Cotton? I've been given a very specific task, and I need someone bloodthirsty. Well, you've come to the right place. I was wondering, I have one more slot available. Do you know anyone else? Fugen. Really? Yes, he really loves it when the blood squirts out.
Hey, Squirt.
Oh, that's what he means.
Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, with a new expansion in Monster Hunter comes new mechanics. And sure, it's nice to have them around and maybe just use them as a bit of a background thing to augment your enjoyment a little bit, but one thing that I just love doing is testing the limits of new mechanics to see exactly what they are capable of. Today I set out with a single mission, a self-appointed quest, to see if it was possible to kill a monster with no damage coming from me myself or my buddies. First up was to unassign my own buddies, then find out which followers do the most damage, because today it's time to see how our brand new hunting partners can fare on their own. As far as which followers to choose, it was quite simple actually. When you have a look at them on their support survey list, it will tell you how they tend to act, with the three options being offensive, support, or balanced. And obviously for this experiment, we want the ones that are offensively focused, of which there are only two, Luchika and Fugen. You can change their weapons, but their default ones are the pretty good high damaging choices, and you can even see their switch skills and their skill list too if you look through it, which are generally actually loaded with decent offensive skills as well. On top of this, as a hunting horn main myself, I thought I would give them a little bit of extra support in the matter. As such, I will be applying Attack Song, Divine Protection, and Sonic Barrier Song throughout the quest as much as I decide is needed. I have also picked up Full Wide Range as a skill so I can not only heal them when they take damage to keep them in the fight longer, but also use Demon Drugs, Demon Powder, and Might Seeds to buff their damage for the duration of the hunt. And so the question from this point is quite simple. Can two follower NPCs kill a monster without the hunter actually damaging it?
I'm up to that task.
As well, there are a few interesting tidbits I noticed along the way. Your followers will recognize whether or not you are attacking the monster, even if you are swinging your weapon and hitting nothing. If you don't touch the monster for 5 to 10 minutes, they will just sheath and run in circles, so you do at the very least have to do some small amount of damage and throw a kunai every once in a while or something like that. Luchika is pretty good at destroying monster parts, it would seem. It seems to be her main benefit to the hunt as a whole. She actually was responsible for a number of part breaks throughout the hunt, pretty much by herself. And Fugen creates a lot of openings through an abundance of toad usage, mostly blast toads, but the occasional poison toad as well. In his bio in the support survey, it says he got these toads from Hojo, and it does not surprise me that Hojo runs a secret toad farm. Anyways, past this, I chose a monster starting off in the lowest star rating of support survey. There were a number of decent choices there, but I went with Anjanath as he has great hit zones both for ranged ammo, which is Luchika's specialty, and for sharp weapons, which Fugen will be using. The health difference between the monsters available at this star rating isn't particularly large anyways. That said, we went on the quest and everything seemed to be going great. Luchika was spamming sticky ammo, which in theory is fantastic damage. Fugen was actually managing to get to red spirit gauge and then pulling off helm breakers, actually using the proper longsword loop. They actually seemed like decent hunters doing well. If you were simply watching their actions, their animations, you would think, okay, they're competent, they're capable, they're doing damage. They aren't perfect, they're often not hitting ideal body parts, and sometimes Fugen just sort of wanders around unsure what to do with himself, but they aren't bad at all. They are applying real, actual damage. Time to peel back the veil though and reveal the truth. Their damage output is bad. In theory, they are using high tier weapons, armor, and we can even, as I said earlier, see their actual skill lists, but their damage is simply not comparable to an actual hunter, which is easily noticed when you time out on the quest without the monster even being in limp mode. Yeah, sorry to tell you, but follower damage is sort of poopy. I assume that they have some sort of inbuilt negative multiplier to their damage that makes it a fraction of a player, and so the result is the two most offensively oriented followers in the game, while being fully buffed up by a hunting horn and items, are not capable of soloing a monster in the lowest star rating of support survey, not even getting it to 25% health themselves even.
We both know they're weak.
And so with this experiment failing at the lowest possible boundaries for success, I had a few questions that I wanted to answer as a result. If they don't do enough damage to even contribute 75% of the monster's health between them over 50 minutes, what difference will they make in an average hunt where you are damaging the monster and killing it in 10 to 20 minutes as an average hunter would? Well, let's say for argument's sake that they did exactly 1% less damage than what was required to make the monster limp and did 74% of the monster's health in 50 minutes. That would would mean they do around 1.48% of the monster's health per minute on the quest, and so if your hunt takes 10 minutes, they contribute a maximum of 14.8% of the monster's health and damage, and in a 20-minute hunt, they contribute a maximum of 29.6% of the monster's health and damage. In reality, it's probably actually significantly lower than this, as I have been giving them a serious benefit of the doubt to reach those numbers. With that said, how useful actually are they? Well, this realization tells us something massive. These followers don't exist as a proper damage source. That's not their goal, that's not why they're here, not really, it just isn't their job, not even the ones labeled as offensively focused. Instead, Luchika's main benefit to the hunt is her vicious part-breaking ability, breaking multiple parts throughout the hunt by herself, and Fugen's main benefit is his toads. He creates a number of openings for you, a number of downs on the monster, for you the hunter to do your damage. Once you move on to the support-oriented followers, their benefits are a bit more clear, but overall their damage contribution to an average hunt just isn't great. On top of this, you could obviously add in the factor that if you hunt with 2 followers, the monster is just significantly less likely to target you than if you're solo. The existence of more targets for the monster to choose from means that you have more opportunities to be damaging the monster, and so that winds up adding up to way more damage coming from you throughout the hunt. In that way, having followers does increase your damage significantly compared to a solo hunt, but it isn't because the followers are contributing that damage themselves.
Thank you, you make me stronger!
At the end of the day, while I consider this experiment a bit of a failure as we didn't complete the goal we set out to reach, it did give us a lot of valuable information. Realistically, the goal here was to see if followers could solo a monster, and now I feel confident saying they cannot. It may have been my personal hypothesis that they would be able to do it, especially with all the supporting and buffing that I was doing to let them really go at it, but in scientific matters we must remain unbiased, and so when presented with results as clear as these, we have to accept them. What we've learned is that the followers will create opportunities for you to do more damage. They will assist in secondary objectives such as part breaks. They will even teleport across the map to wrangle a wyvern ride and bring that monster over. But when it comes to their own fighting styles, their actual weapon damage applied to the monster, it is simply low enough that to an average hunter the difference will be negligible. They aren't a replacement for multiplayer hunts. They are simply an imitation of multiplayer hunts in a way that makes the monster pay less attention to you. They are useful, but not quite a game changer. Regardless of that, they are fun to have around. Sometimes it will have unique little voice lines, sometimes it will even talk to each other if you pick the right pair of followers, but they are simply not a massive force for power in Sunbreak. I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been an exploration of the limits of the follower system offensively, with results that are somewhat disappointing but extremely educational. Are you surprised by this revelation as I was, or did you always expect the follower system to be more of a vanity than an actual hunt effectiveness improving tool? Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.